It's 1959, and we're deep in the lush rainforests of Venezuela. A mysterious girl named Rima, played by the enchanting Audrey Hepburn, glides through the foliage. At her side, a delicate fawn prances along, like something straight out of a fairy tale. Suddenly, we hear, "Cut!" It's the film's director, who also happens to be Audrey's husband. The Hollywood magic is broken as the crew begins to shuffle around. They're not in a remote jungle at all. It's the MGM lot in Los Angeles, on the set of the film Green Mansions. The crew readjusts cameras and light fixtures as Audrey and her co-star Anthony Perkins take a break. As they make their way over to the dressing rooms, something remarkable happens. The fawn isn't leaving Audrey's side, even after the cameras have stopped rolling. As Audrey walks into her dressing room, the fawn follows right behind her. What was this little deer doing? Did she know they were done filming? Maybe she didn't get the memo about what cut means. Or perhaps this fawn with method. The truth behind this adorable pair would soon captivate fans worldwide and become one of Hollywood's greatest love stories. I'm Starlee Kine, and you're listening to Celebrity Pets. Tonight, the heartwarming tale of Pippin, the deer who was more than just Audrey Hepburn's co-star. She was also her cherished companion. Celebrity Pets. Audrey first laid eyes on Pippin a few months prior. The animal handler for Green Mansions had their work cut out for them. Turn a Hollywood soundstage into a living, breathing jungle. The handler arrived with a veritable Noah's Ark in tow. Snakes, birds, and one very special baby deer. When Audrey first laid eyes on the delicate fawn, it was as if time stood still. With a coat as soft as velvet and a gentle grace, Pippin was hard not to fall in love with. Her large, expressive eyes sparkled with curiosity, framed by delicate lashes that seemed to flutter with every playful bound. Pippin's role in the film was to follow Audrey around, but this was harder to do than you think. Unlike a dog, which you can lure with treats, a baby deer is not so easy to train. As the handler watched Audrey snuggle the deer, a light bulb went off in their head. Fawns develop deep connections with their mothers. So, the handler suggested Audrey become Pippin's surrogate mom. Perhaps it was Pippin's sweet demeanor, or maybe it was Audrey's commitment to her craft, or maybe it was just who can resist a baby deer. Whatever the reason, the actress said yes right away. Before you knew it, Pippin, who Audrey started calling Ip for short, was following Audrey's every move. And the press, they could not get enough of this duo.
Fawn-like Audrey Hepburn is playing mother to a
Co-star
real
wins
fawn.
the heart of actress Audrey Hepburn.
Like Mary and her little lamb, the 5-week-old fawn follows Audrey all over the MGM lot.
In between takes, Audrey would bottle feed Ip, or stroll around the MGM lot with her, or just hang out with her in her dressing room. But there was one tiny problem. Mr. Famous, Audrey's Yorkshire Terrier. Mr. Famous accompanied Audrey to every film set, and Green Mansions was, of course, no different. Before Ip, Mr. Famous was the top dog in Audrey's life. Impeccably accessorized with a charming bow in his silky hair, he was a fashion icon in his own right. He even made his own film debut in Audrey's movie Funny Face. Together, he and Audrey had traveled the world, but now, Mr. Famous had competition. While Audrey claimed the two of them got along just fine, the behind-the-scenes drama told a different story. In one revealing interview, Mr. Famous couldn't hold back his disdain, growling at Ip for the ultimate offense, chewing on Audrey's designer blouse. The tension was palpable. Then there's the photo. Picture this. Audrey, ever the serene starlet, sits on the floor, gazing adoringly at Pippin, and then there's Mr. Famous, head turned away in a defiant protest. His shaggy bangs barely conceal an epic eye roll, a true Hollywood clash of egos. But in the end, it was just sibling rivalry. After a long day on set, the unlikely family would pile into Audrey's sports car, Mr. Famous in the passenger seat like the royalty that he was, Ip curled up in Audrey's lap, and all head home together. Once home, Ip had free range of Audrey's Hollywood mansion. Audrey set up a cozy bed in one of her bathtubs, but Ip had a much better sleeping arrangement in mind, the spot right between Audrey and her husband Mel. Baby deers don't have any teeth, so Ip depended on Audrey to bottle feed her, a task the starlet took on with tenderness. But it wasn't just feeding time that bonded them. Ip had a habit of chewing on anything she could reach, including Audrey's designer clothes. And even fashion cops like Mr. Famous fell asleep on the job sometimes. But no matter how much her fashion wardrobe suffered, Audrey never seemed to mind. Friends would later say that while Ip had the untamed spirit of a young fawn, Audrey had the calm and soothing presence of a mother deer. Ip became Audrey's constant companion, whether it was a quiet weekend picnic in the garden or a casual trip to the local grocery store in Beverly Hills. At star-studded parties, Ip was the belle of the ball. In a town obsessed with spectacle, Hollywood couldn't get enough of the newest It couple. While paparazzi clamored for a photo of Ip, one photographer had unprecedented access to the pair. His name was Bob Willoughby. Bob was a famous Hollywood photographer who had shot everyone from Marilyn Monroe to Elizabeth Taylor. Audrey and Bob became fast friends as her career was taking off. Over the years, Bob would shoot Audrey on and off set, capturing candid moments throughout her life. Among his stunning archive of Audrey photos, perhaps the most memorable are the ones with Ip. In one photo, the two are having a nap on the couch. Ip lies peacefully in Audrey's arm as they snooze. Another captures Audrey and Ip at the wrap party for Green Mansions. Audrey holds Ip in one hand and pretends to give her a beer in another. Perhaps the most famous one, though, is of Audrey at the grocery store. She kneels down and squints as she reads the label on a box of food. Ip stands by her side, inspecting the box with her nose. Bob perfectly sums up this moment.
Beverly Hills habitués are fairly blasé about what they see, but Audrey being followed around town by this lovely creature stopped everyone in their tracks.
The deer had clearly become more than just a co-star to Audrey. But she knew the day would come when filming would wrap and the two would have to part ways. In a heartfelt interview, she confessed, "I've fallen in love with her." Audrey once said that caring for Ip had taught her a lot about motherhood. Not long after their parting, Audrey welcomed her first human child into the world. But Pippin would always be who she was first a mother to. As for Ip, it's believed she was sent to an animal sanctuary, where she was able to roam free among other woodland creatures. In the years that followed, Audrey Hepburn cemented her status as a timeless icon. Yet for those who knew her best, her unexpected bond with Pippin remained a cherished part of her enduring legacy, a true Hollywood love story. And now, as you drift off to sleep, we'll end this episode of Celebrity Pets as we always do, with a poem. A tribute, really. Graceful Audrey with eyes of brown met little Ip on a movie set in town. A bond so rare, it caught the world's eye, a star in her fawn, beneath the California sky. Cameras flashed, capturing moments so sweet, of Hollywood's darling and her hooved petite. At parties she'd nibble on Givenchy with flair, while Mr. Famous sulked in his designer chair. The whirlwind romance, brief but sweet, left Tinseltown starstruck, swept off its feet. A reminder that love knows no bounds or norm, in a city where magic can take any form.